Now we should work. Okay, come on, Juan. Here we go. What's happening? Yep. All right. And we're live on the radio. Un momento. On this Wednesday, folks, it's looking better and better, as a matter of fact. Wow. What a story. What a story indeed. You don't want to miss this. Share that you are watching. Oh, my goodness. What a gift. Hola, one and all. Oh, my God. This is tremendous. So much to get to. All right, we're live on the radio in 1 minute. 1 minute. What did I say on Monday night? What did I say on Monday night? I said, this is a really big story. And I was shouted down by some people, but now people are not questioning. All right, we're live on the radio. Less than a minute, actually. Folks, right now at 12:06, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380, 99.9 FM. Oh, hey, Ashley. Folks, good afternoon to everybody on Facebook Live. This is the Noon Report. Wow, Juan seems excited today. I'm very excited because this is Wednesday. I'm telling you, I don't think she makes it till Friday because now this whole controversy now with Governor McGreed, which is breaking very quickly. First, it started with Lieutenant Governor Matos. Now, the McKee campaign. Like, my goodness, is dragged in. And I'm going to tell you how in just a moment, but you're not going to want to miss this. And also, many of you are going to watch this later because people are going to be sharing this noon report. This noon report. It has all the different elements we like: political corruption, investigations. Pork Boy is dragged in on this. Governor McGreed is dragged in on this. Wow. What a blockbuster. Folks, this portion of our program, and it's brought to you by PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Native vegetables, corn, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, onions, zucchini, yellow squash. Fantastic. PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. Pop it right off of Route 4 for crying out loud. Look for them on Facebook. I share their Facebook page. It's Steve and Debbie and Junior and Byron. It's PR, Landscape Materials and Garden Center, and everything you want to plant. And one thing I noticed is everyone's lawns still look fantastic. There's no lawns that are burnt out because we've had so much rain. So it's you can obviously still plant. And then unique gifts. It's PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Well, folks, we have big updates coming on the website, depetro.com, which is brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. Lunch, dinner, drinks, and lounge. They're waiting for you at the Coesit Inn. Wow, what blockbusters we have going. And I want to bring you the absolute latest. Now, this has to do with this signature scandal with CD1 race that has started with Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos. But now it keeps getting not only worse for her, deeper for her, and now we're learning more about it. Now, I'm certainly not passing credit to those that deserve it, and two people that have been leading the charge, although I see Brian Crandall at Channel 10, he's on it. Newport election officials referred 3 signatures to police, like one woman's name who was on signature form twice with 2 different signatures. And then you see it is 2 different signatures. So, but I want to go to both the Boston Globe and Tim White. Tim White of Channel 12 and the Boston Globe have been all over the story. Let me start with the Boston Globe part. Now, those on Facebook, you have a little bit of a preview of where this is going. But Newport rejects 14 signatures submitted by Matos' campaign. So it started in Jamestown, where they were listing dead people. This is all in order to get onto the ballot. Lieutenant Governor Matos. Newport election officials have asked the police to investigate 3 signatures on nomination papers for Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, marking the latest development in a growing scandal involving signatures submitted in her campaign for the 1st Congressional District seat. Ed Fitzpatrick of the Globe, 3 members of the Newport Canvassing Authority Commission voted to request the police probe. The action came after city staff rejected 14 of 32 signatures, almost half, submitted on behalf of Matos, and the request focuses on 3 signatures, in addition to the 14 already been tossed out. Newport action comes 2 days after Jamestown asked the police to investigate nomination signatures, including the names of dead people submitted on behalf of Matos. Both Newport and Jamestown were submitted and signed by Holly McLaren, Providence resident. Both documents were notarized by Evan England, a spokesman for the Matos campaign. Newport camp. We'll come back to Holly in just a moment. You know who she is. The Newport Canvassing Authority met 11 o'clock today, and the agenda called for blah, 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 allegations, fraudulent signatures. They rejected 14 of 32. Matos and England campaign manager could not be reached. Of course not. The lieutenant governor is hiding amid mounting controversy. Matos is drawing increasing criticism from her opponents. Gabe Amo, Democrat, former White House official, urging law enforcement launch a joint investigation into the signatures submitted by Matos. Matos is among 13 Democrats. So you have, and the Globe has the nominating signatures, and you can see that they're total fraud. Now let's go to Channel 12. And this is where it really starts to get good, in my opinion. Let me just find, okay, now we go to Channel 12. Let's remember that name, Holly McLaren. I got a note last night from someone, and I'm going to circle into it in just a moment. But Channel 12, excuse me, it's been doing great work on this story. Newport voters dispute more Matos signatures. Signature scandal surrounding the Sabina Lieutenant Governor Matos campaign is widening as several Newport residents tell Channel 12 their signatures were forged on nomination papers submitted to election officials. Target 12 review of more than 3 dozen signatures uncovered at least 3 people who said in interviews, now this is not even under oath with police, just freely that Channel 12 was able to contact. They did not sign the paperwork to help Matos get on the ballot. Hell no, said Newport resident Christopher Roy. Sent images of it. No, that's not my signature. It's the same story for LaJourney King. Reached by phone. Kingston should recall signing nominations for papers from Matos. Heck no. The daughter of another person, said that was not valid. Look, I can tell you that's not my mom's signature. It's too sloppy to be hers. All paperwork submitted by Holly McLaren of Providence, whom Matos' campaign manager described as a campaign supporter. McLaren is the same person who submitted signatures from Matos in nearby Jamestown. Now, she's from Providence, though. So, and then you have filing false signatures is a felony under Rhode Island law. So, where does that name, Holly McLaren, right? Holly McLaren. Well, last night, after I posted the Boston Globe story about this whole thing, I was contacted by a friend of hers who reminded us exactly who she is. And this is the individual that you may remember, and I certainly do, who was in that Ashley Kalis campaign commercial.
Ashley, that's not Rhode Island.
There she is. Ashley, that's not Rhode Island.
Ashley, that's not Rhode Island.
And then we had the other version. We start, hey, Ashley, she's the one. Hey, Ashley, you ain't from around here. Now, it gets better. This was the commercial directed by McKee's pal, Pork Boy, campaign worker who worked on this commercial and interviewed her and had her on his whatever show that's still on, Dan Pork, Fathead State of Mind. He was the one. He knows her. He interviewed her. She's at the center of the scandal, but it gets better. A friend of Holly McLaren said McLaren bragged the reason why, hey, dead people, you ain't from around here. The reason she got to be in the commercial is because, as reward, that she got more signatures for Dan McKee than anybody else, or some, like, in that ranking. So, folks, this was the commercial we did with
Ashley, that's not Rhode Island.
She bent over.
Rover took over.
Are you sure? Oh, it's in Illinois. That's where she got a tax break on her house. Yeah, do you?
You're not from around here, are you?
So that's,
Scandals at America's worst.
hey, Helena folks had it right.
Hang up on him.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my line.
there you go.
Ashley, that's not Rhode Island.
So here are some of the difficulties, folks, and I realize it may be moving a little fast, but let me just back up for a moment. What needs to be examined is if these people are on the voter rolls. What really brings this alive is this is not just some campaign person as they're trying to do it. Evan England is part of the campaign for Matos. This Holly McLaren, she's from the McKee campaign. We have video of her. Most of the people that go out and get these signatures for the campaigns, we would not have any idea who they are, what they look like. But what this calls into question, so this is someone from the McKee campaign who is now at the center of the investigation of fraud with the entire Matos campaign now being investigated. Now, Lieutenant Governor Matos, let me be very clear about this at 1216. She is in the bunker. She's nowhere to be found. She won't do an interview. She won't go on record with anybody. But what we're hearing is she was telling people, because she was then featured in the McKee commercial. Hey, Ashley, you're not from around here, which I've noticed is no longer on their YouTube channel. Somehow, mysteriously, that commercial has disappeared, even though the television stations have it, various people have it. But, however, she told at least one individual, this Holly McLaren, that her being in the McKee commercial, directed by Pork Boy, was reward for being one of the people that got the most signatures for Dan McKee to get on the ballot for the primary, which was held last September, which he lost day of voting, but then won because of mail ballots or ballot harvesting from the unions. But folks, let's step back for a moment. Who told her to do that? Who told Holly McLaren that if you can't find someone, just write their name in? We're supposed to believe that this nitwit, that she just came up with that on her own? Now this also calls into question and how big this investigation could go. Is fraud, is it possible, and I would think it's likely, very possible, that fraudulent signatures are what got Dan McKee onto the ballot? Now, they can say all they want about, well, we still have enough and they kicks things out and things like that. But that's not the point. This is, folks, let me spell it out for you. This is outright fraud. Remember, this is McKee Matos. He appointed her. They campaigned together. She is his McKee puppet that he appointed to be lieutenant governor. Period. End of story. She's not competent, qualified for the job. She lost day of voting to Aaron Gukian. The only reason she is the lieutenant governor is the union's ballot harvest and jacked up. She's another one who lost day of voting. So I want to step back for a moment, just so you understand. This started in Jamestown, where you have to hand in signatures to get your candidate on the ballot. Jamestown flags, okay, these are, some of the people they've listed are deceased. And then, some of these other people, we recognize them. They moved out of Jamestown. So it starts with Jamestown. So then other people start looking, other cities and towns, their border canvases. So right now, we're at Jamestown and Newport. So now keep in mind, the Matos campaign handed in, it's over 600 signatures. You need 500. And then you always submit more in case some get knocked out for, for various reasons. But here's what's in play, is all the other cities and towns that are looking at these Matos signatures, and then more importantly, any forms that were handed in with Holly McLaren. But wait, here's what really starts to go into is different board of canvassers that are looking at some of the McKee signatures that were handed in from last fall. So why is this so important? Why is Juan so excited? Number one, that commercial of "You're Not From Around Here," of this whole Holly and "Hey Ashley, you ain't from around here, or is it Illinois?" and that whole thing. Directed as Pork Boy is laughing since he found her, and they thought it was so brilliant, even though it was actually very insulting to a lot of people. It was actually, if I remember, it was actually even insulting to, like, "You're Not From Around Here." Sabina Matos, I think she's from the Dominican Republic. So, I think, I don't remember. It was last fall. I think she was even asked about the commercial. "You're not from around here," because she certainly isn't from around here. But folks, this fully engulfs Governor McKee, because now you have this Notice also, Governor McKee is silent. He's not defending her. He's not saying anything. So now, if you're going to have Newport and Jamestown, but keep in mind, see, Governor McKee controls the state police, but he doesn't control those two districts. You have Attorney General Peter Nerona, strike that. Peter Nerona lives in Jamestown, and I'm sure he knows the people in Newport fairly well. So no one is going to skimp on an investigation. So what I want you to understand, I don't believe she can stay in the race. I don't think she can stay in the race. The Matos, and I want you to understand this, because if you're shrugging this off like it doesn't matter, you're not grasping the severity of it. This is a sitting lieutenant governor. She wants the congressional seat. The entire campaign needs to be under investigation. I don't know if now the state police move in. It's very possible they move in. Very possible. If you start to have separate investigations, you have the Jamestown police investigation, you have the Newport investigation. Anywhere with this Holly McLaren was handing in papers, I would think they're going to investigate that. The primary's coming up September 5th. This thing isn't going to be resolved by then. How can Matos? She's the sitting lieutenant governor. Now, this Gabe Ammo, who I don't know him, but he's already saying there should be, an investigation. He's just a candidate running, right? Or let's just say Aaron Ruggenberg. He stopped whatever job he was doing. He's running. But she's an elected official. She's the number two, whether you realize it or not, or like it or not. She's the number two. She's the lieutenant governor. What happened when Gina Raimondo took the commerce job? McKee became the governor. So, and remember, there's no love. There's no relationship there at all between Raimondo and McKee. She had to be at a photo op with him less than a month ago. She wouldn't even stand next to the guy. She wouldn't even look at McKee. She loathes McKee. She's actually, I think, friendly with that Gabe Ammo, which I wouldn't be surprised if they were kind of guiding him a little bit. Will this become an FBI investigation? I don't know. But you're talking about fraud. You're talking about our elections. This is, and I wonder, they were so smug that it was always the McKee Matos campaign. And now the woman who's so obnoxious, "Hey Ashley," from the McKee commercial, that woman, "Hey Ashley, are you're not from around here." That whole attitude of hers, this Holly McLaren.
Ashley, that's not Rhode Island.
Yeah. So what does that mean? Signing the names of dead people? Is that what that means? Is that Rhode Island? Hey, she was in the McKee commercial. She is now, and again, this is not, hey, I didn't know who she was. He knew exactly who she was. She's been on that. If you go on YouTube, she was on Fathead's whatever TV show. He knows her as well. They were working with her with the commercial of how they wanted her to deliver those lines. They thought it was so brilliant, right? She's the one in the midst of this. Now, we don't know what she's going to say. because as the Boston Globe, as the Boston Globe reported, that you have two individuals involved with this whole thing. And one of them is that Evan England, who was then, and I want to read this exactly from the Globe because I want to make sure we have it accurate, and it is the reporting of Ed Fitzpatrick. Both the Newport Jamestown's nomination papers were submitted and signed by Holly McLaren, and both documents were notarized by Evan England, spokesman for the Matos campaign. So she's not just some distant campaign person. She's the obnoxious individual from the McKee commercial. She knows she was at the debates. I would see her at the debates. She was with him on election night. So this Holly McLaren working with Evan England. So let's just say they start investigating her, and she says, well, I was instructed by Evan to just forge the signatures. Well, now you got a real problem. And maybe they sit down Evan England, who's facing felony fraud charges. And he said, well, we were having a problem, and Sabina Matos told me to do that. Well, now you got a real problem. And now you wonder, and I don't want to get too ahead of this, but now you have to wonder if this becomes a RICO, and I'm not exaggerating, a RICO case with the FBI. That's how serious this is. This broke late Monday afternoon. It's Wednesday, and Matos is nowhere. Now, this guy from North Providence pulled out of the race, and the only activity from the lieutenant governor, because she won't do an interview right now, she's hiding in the bunker. McKee must be irate right now, is unless he's in on it. Newport Canvassing Authority has voted to forward the signatures to the Newport Police. So now you have two police departments. So I am telling you right now, I want to see how is she going to continue her campaign. I'm not convinced that she can. I'm not convinced that she can continue with this campaign in any way, as a matter of fact. Let me just see. Steve Frias, also troubling, the Newport Board of Canvassers accepted forgeries as valid. Good point. Local boards verify if signatures on nomination papers are valid. If local boards accept forgeries as valid for nomination papers, they may make the same mistakes for mail ballot applications. Exactly right. Steve Frias, very, very knowledgeable. So, I mean, this is, I am telling you right now, this is one of those, notice each day the story's getting further and further along. And, it's like spinning a wheel. Who knows where it's going to go? Now, I believe before the end of the day, you're going to hear from another canvassing board who's going to say they have a problem with signatures, with the Matos campaign. And I want to repeat that because it's worth repeating. The campaign for Congress of Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos is under investigation right now by at least two police departments, and it could be increasing. So, and it seems pretty clean cut. So how much, this isn't one rogue individual. How many of these campaign people are caught up in this? Now, as I said, I don't see how she continues the campaign. The primary is coming up September 5th. And I want to tell you the difference between her and Senator Josh Miller, Miller, who pled no contest yesterday in court. I'm going to do that in just a moment. But folks, this portion of the program brought by AJ Drywall, Plasters, and Home Improvement. Call them today. Free quote, 401-323-9252. 401-323-9252. AJ Drywall, Plasters, and Home Improvement. Framed or finished basements, acoustical ceilings, new homes, additions, commercial rehabs, painting, remodeling. AJ Drywall, Plasters, and Home Improvement. The real estate market is insane right now, and there's no inventory. So I know of people that they're thinking, if they sold their home right now, they'd make double what they paid for it. But the problem is, where do you go? So more and more people are saying, instead of moving, I think I'm just going to do some work on my own home to get it the way that I want it and then enjoy it like that. Maybe it's a home office. Maybe adding an in-law apartment. Maybe whatever. AJ Drywall, Plasters, and Home Improvement. Call today, 401-323-9252. Look for them on Facebook. Frame to finish basements, acoustic ceilings, new homes, additions, commercial rehabs, painting, remodeling. AJ Drywall, Plasters, and Home Improvement. Well, folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Remember, you can listen online at the website, depetro.com. Our legal expert, attorney Tim Dodd, you're going to hear him next hour talking about this Matos situation. This portion of our program is brought to you by Ryan's Appliance Repair. Ryan is terrific. I've known Ryan for many years now. He's a big supporter of the program. And on top of that, he has been into the home of the chosen one and fixed several of our appliances. And I know Dana was also calling him to repair something. Ryan's Appliance Repair, 401-710-7096. Okay, you got the beautiful refrigerator, but the ice machine is not working. What are you going to call your, lazy son-in-law? He doesn't know how to fix it. Call Ryan. How about if you have a problem with your washing machine or dryer or the dishwasher or your stove or oven or microwave? Ryan's Appliance Repair. Call them today. Remember what we say, when your appliances die, and just call Ryan. 401-710-7096. Family-run business, and boom, they make it happen. Saturday appointments are available. All work is guaranteed. 90 days parts and labor, and senior citizens discounts are available. Ryan's Appliance Repair, 401-710-7096. No, the Matos situation, where it's different than the Josh Miller. Now, yesterday, as I'm posting all the video, and I'm posting him outside of the courthouse, I don't understand the people saying, well, did he resign? Don't you think that would be in the headline if he resigned? Don't you think I would have the audio? Like, how do you watch that audio and then still come away and ask the question, did he resign? Don't you think that would, what do you think? I'm burying the lead? The lead would be he resigned due to the vandalism, the keying the car and lying to the Cranston police. Did he resign? Does it say he blanking resigned? I mean, folks, I am just at the point, I'm telling you. The reason why I'm moving almost like all video and audio is people just don't read. Even when I put in a video where something took place, people don't read. It's frightening to me, but it makes sense with how things are on the road. But where this is different than Mato, did he resign? No, he didn't resign. No, as I explained, did he resign? There are people out there that vote for him and support him, who will throw him a fundraiser, who give him the thumbs up and high-five him because he keyed a vehicle that said Biden sucks. He's not going to resign. There's a very good chance he's going to get reelected. And conversely, just to provide an example, let's just say Marjorie Taylor Greene keyed a vehicle that said, something blank Trump. And then you have progressives saying, well, did she resign? No. Why wouldn't she resign? Because there are people that be like, hey, good for her. I'm going to donate more. I'm going to vote for her again. So it works both ways. Did he resign? No. Now, the problem with Matos, the lieutenant governor, Miller, he's not up for, if he has a Democrat primary, that would be next September. And then he would face the general in November. So he has time to lay low. He'll go back up to the State House in January. He'll act like, hey, I stepped forward, made a mistake, blah, 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 and just, move on from things. Or will try to. And just remember, though, a large number of his constituents would support him for doing that, right? When one of the Proud Boys burned a Black Lives Matter flag, yeah, the people of Black Lives Matter were upset, but a lot of people were cheering him on. So it depends on the audience. Miller has time to let this kind of water under the bridge, move on from it, blah, blah, blah. Lieutenant Governor Matos, she doesn't have any time. The primary for CD1, the congressional district seat, used to be Fernand St. Germain. Then it was Ron Makeley. Then it was held by Patrick Kennedy. Then, who was the congressperson? David Cicilline. That seat, the primary date, whoever wins the primary is the winner, is coming up September 5th. There's no way these investigations end by then. I'm telling you right now, as I said, how is she going to stand on a debate stage? First of all, she can't debate. She can't even do an interview. She can't do a press conference. She can't. No one wants to hear anything else. She's silent right now. I think she's going to remain silent. If anything, her attorney may be telling her to remain silent. So when I say she's going to be out of the race, I'm not saying today. I'm not saying her people are trying to find a way. Remember, she is backed by organized labor. So she is their puppet. So the heat on this thing is not going down. So I don't know, maybe she stays in and she doesn't do any debates and do any interviews. And maybe they feel, hey, we ballot harvest last time. I don't think it would work as well this time. Because look she lost day of voting to Aaron Gukian, and she really didn't have any like major scandal or anything, right? But she's not really that well spoken. McKee is not good with talking points. McKee just keeps repeating things, right? What did McKee do with Dr. Scott? There was a window of opportunity, and blah blah blah, and then there was another situation where he was his talking point they gave him was due process with the Philadelphia thing. So the two of them are not slick. But where the Matos thing really becomes difficult is this woman was in the McKee campaign. He knows her. He can't say he doesn't know who she is. The whole reason that woman was in the commercial was to reward her for being one of the biggest signature getters out on the campaign trail. At least that's what she was telling people. So they have a major problem because her involvement really, what is McKee going to do? Cut her loose? Matos? Now here's where it gets even better. In my opinion, where this gets better. And again, folks, good afternoon. Right now at 12:37, you're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Good afternoon to everybody on Facebook Live. Where that gets even better, to me, is, okay, let's just say Matos. Sabina Matos, Lieutenant Governor. Let's just play, and I think she will not be able to do this campaign. I don't think so. Come on, your campaign's being investigated right now by at least two police departments, and the number could be climbing, and it's outright fraud. So, but here's what's actually comical to me. Maybe not everyone will see the humor in it. Okay, so he was actually kind of looking forward to, good, let her go to Congress. He wanted her to win because then he could like sell, all right, who wants to be my new lieutenant governor, and kind of like put that out to bid, right? The problem now is for Lieutenant Governor Mato is all right, so let's just say, and I believe she won't be able to do the campaign for CD1. All right, I'm predicting I don't see how she could do that. Now she's completely useless. Now he's just stuck with someone who's his lieutenant governor. Talk about tarnished. Now, I mean, he's not exactly the most popular guy from Wesley to Woonsocket. Now you're talking about, this hurts him. Now, anywhere he goes, what do you think the people, the reporters, everyone's going to just ask about Matos, his lieutenant governor. Now, he's got this anchor around his neck. She's hurting his entire administration. So what I'm saying is, not only do I not think that she can continue in the CD1 race, I'm not convinced that she can continue as lieutenant governor. What good is she to? She's no good to him. She can't raise money. She's terrible on her feet. I am just, and again, I'm not saying this stuff happens like that, right? There are some people, when you hear a blizzard is coming, and it could be 3 feet of snow, in the first half hour, it's not 3 feet of snow. It's still arriving. So I'm not saying this happens today. I'm not saying it happens tomorrow. But the last thing Governor McGree needs is another investigation into his. Now they start investigating his campaign. Now, what if Holly starts playing ball? What if Holly starts saying, "Hey, I was doing fraudulent signatures for Governor McKee last June, and no one said anything. How did you learn how to to do this? They showed me how to do it. I did it when he ran for lieutenant governor. Blah blah blah." Folks, this is tip of the iceberg. In the course of a 9 inning game, I still think we're in the top of the first here. I think we're in the top of the first. This portion of the John DePetro show is brought to you by Propane Plus. Now remember, for all your propane needs, if you're listening right now and you use propane, you want Propane Plus. Call them today, 401-885-4209. In Massachusetts, 508-252-3359 for Propane Plus. 3 generations, heating and cooling. I want you to do me a favor. If you use propane, call them today. They will handle all your propane needs. In Rhode Island, your number is 401-885-4209. In Massachusetts, 508-252-3359 for Propane Plus. It's Tim Johnson. It's his family. I'll tell you, 3 generations. They're available 24/7. I'll go and visit with Tim Johnson, who's terrific. I've known him for years. I've known his dad. Folks, they run such an impressive operation. What you need to know about Propane Plus, and you can tell them I said this, is just these are the type of people you want to do business with, right? Let's give an example of the type of people you don't want to do business with and the people you do. Now, the type of people you do want to do business with is like a Propane Plus, heating and cooling, residential, commercial. Let's talk about the type of people you don't want to do business with. How about a governor that shows up for a first meeting at the Capitol Grill with his chief fundraiser, and before he'll sit down, you and the person with you have to write out checks for $500. I would say that is the type of individual that you don't want to do business with. With Propane Plus, you do want to do business with them. Folks, call Tim Johnson today. You can tell him I say Juan told me to call you, 401-885 4209 or 508-252-3359 for Propane Plus. Well, folks, good afternoon. Now, again, this story is breaking very, very rapidly. And there's still, there's several things in play here. Now, this Don Carlson, who's the businessman from Jamestown, he asked very, very good questions. And, you want to preserve evidence, notes and documents related to the campaign. There's several factors also involved here. The office of Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos has been controlled by the McKee administration. There was someone that worked for the Lieutenant Governor and then left because anything they wanted to do had to be okayed by the governor himself. So they got frustrated and left and felt like, well, what is this? Right? Like we're just puppets. They control our entire office. But if you're Sabina Matos, hey, he tapped her. She was the head of the Providence City Council, and then tapped her into that role. And she got elected supposedly in November. But you have other campaigns now, and they are firing off rounds going after her. So there's a lot of play. You're not going to have people being silent right now. Not in any way. There's too much at stake. And because she's lieutenant governor, because of labor, right, organized labor, she has been considered one of the front runners for this seat. But right now, her campaign is under investigation. Right now, the Matos campaign, this is just the beginning. She's not talking right now simply because she's unable to do an interview on anything. Now look at this. Governor McKee puts out a tweet. Great to welcome Governor Phil Noel back to the State House for a belated birthday lunch with the mayor of Warwick. There's a joke in there somewhere. For him, he's just trying to carry on. Where is Sabina Matos? How come she's not in the photo? Did she? Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Noel's alive. So therefore, she had no interest. She only wants to talk to people that have passed away. McKee can try to, and of course he's laughing it up. How come every time, you know what's funny about people like McKee and Matos? There's no humor at all. And yet every time you see them for a photo, they're like laughing hysterically. And they're the most unfunny people that you've ever, like there's no humor at all. Yet every time you see them, it's like they're laughing as if they're standing next to like Louis C.K. or Jerry Seinfeld or something, or Ricky Gervais. So, but this story with Matos, I'm telling you right now, this is a big story. It's going to get bigger. And on top of that, she thanked someone for exiting the race, Lieutenant Governor Matos. As this probe gets bigger, this will start to become a regional story, and then it will become a national story. And keep in mind, Matos was the one. She went on MSNBC, and she was slamming Governor DeSantis and said him trying to enforce illegals in the laws in Florida, that it was an evil move by him. She actually used the word evil. This is Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos. And as I'm noticing from her campaign headquarters, with her sign behind her on the wall, attacking one of the top governors in the entire country. Let's revisit. This is her. This is just within the past month.
I have to say that that law is evil. What MAGA Republicans are doing right now is using the immigrant population as a punching bag in order to earn political points. That's not right. We shouldn't be.
Yeah, you know what else is not right is signing the names of people that are deceased. One person died in 2001 or 2002, signing their names in order to get you onto the nomination papers in order to qualify for the ballot. Now, folks, I also want to point out, I don't know why but this is unbelievable. Signed by Holly McLaren. Signed both documents and notarized by Evan England. She's the woman. That's the one. That's the obnoxious, hey, Ashley, you ain't from around here. You don't know. This is the way we do it in Rhode Island. Folks, I also want to play, and I don't know why this is not getting more play, meaning more coverage. But the Providence Journal did a story on this Warwick City Council person, Donna Travis. And it had to do with like a land grab. They did something like a questionable maneuver to get land in Oakland Beach. So citizen advocate Rob Cody goes to attended, I should say, the Warwick City Council meeting. And for some reason, this Donna Travis is actually leading the meeting. So apparently sits there patiently, and then he gets up to speak during the public comment section. Now, again, the nature of the article is that this woman, Donna Travis in Warwick, is, who I believe is like a total union hack on the payroll, but that she used her political power and influence to grab some land. So he walks up during the public comment, and listen to the way she shuts him down. He was actually then escorted out by Warwick police. What is also so disgraceful is not one member of the Warwick City Council stepped forward and said, "No, time out. right? Like he's not. This is a story that appeared on the front page of the Providence Journal, and it's allegations that you used your political sway to make like a land grab in some way. So I want to just play the audio of this of Rob Cody.
First, I'd like to congratulate Councilwoman Travis on the front page of the Providence Journal.
You will be talking about city government, or you'll be leaving.
Well,
This is
had to
about
do with
the
that.
topic of city government, or else you'll
No,
be
it is
escorted
actually, lady.
This is about city government.
It is.
It's actually mentioned about the war.
out. Did you hear what I just said?
Okay.
I don't care. Any one of the council people, you do not take attack to. Stick to a city government issue.
It is a city
and then
government
we'll go
issue.
forward.
You
This is
misuse
about
your
city
position of
government issues.
power.
We have an elected official.
Okay, somebody want to take him out?
How?
You know this is going to
He's
be
all
the
done.
ACLU. This is about
You get away with it every month. You're not going to do it with me. You're leaving now. I'm sure he can read. Go. Go. Goodbye.
What a jerk. The nature of
Zero.
the article was the fact that she misused her political power. Now I have this on the Facebook page.
Travis on the front page of the Providence Journal.
Rob Cody.
You will be talking about city government, or you'll be leaving.
This
So
is about
stick
city
to the
government.
topic of city government, or else
This
you'll be
is city
escorted
government.
out.
This is city
About
government.
city government. It's
You
actually mentioned
misuse
about
your
the war.
Did
power.
you hear what I just said?
How? It's like out of Animal
Any
House.
one of the council
Are
you
you
do
deaf?
not take attack to. Stick to a city government issue.
This is a city
and then
government
we'll go
issue.
forward.
This is about city
You
government.
misuse
issues.
your
We have,
power.
an elected
You abuse
official.
your power.
Okay, somebody want to take him out?
How?
You know this is going to
He's
be
all
the
done.
ACLU.
He's all done.
This is about
Hey,
You
Ashley.
get away with it every month. You're not going to do it with me.
How?
You're leaving now. I'm sure he can read. Go.
Hey, Ashley.
Goodbye.
Now, that is, I mean, it's so embarrassing. And if you are a resident of the city of Warwick, what I also find frightening there, and let's just, I don't want to get too in the weeds here, but it was a front page story in the Providence Journal how this woman abused her political power in order to, I believe it was, I don't know all the specifics of it because they have the paywall, and then when I wanted to access it, I couldn't get to it, but but it had to do with she basically misused her political power, and it was on the front page of the Providence Journal. So as he goes to approach her during public comment, no, that has nothing to do with. Well, it actually has everything to do with city business. So I mean, any scandal, this would, and I don't have to give it an analogy. Um, with look at the attention, Senator Josh Miller. His arrest had nothing to do other than he felt entitled that he was a state senator that he could get away with it. But the nature of this story, the way I understand it, is it was total abuse by her of her power on the Warwick City Council with this land. So, in other words, it has everything to do with city government. This would, maybe I will try to give a bad analogy. This would almost be like if, rest in peace, but if Mayor Cianci had said, this whole Plunderdome thing has nothing to do with city government. Well, actually, it has everything to do with. No, it has nothing to do with city government. These charges are that I was getting kickbacks and bribes. It is not. Well, no, it had actually everything to do with city government. So she's totally wrong. But the manner in which she talks to him, and now again, I'm not a Warwick resident. If I was, how did the council? Not one person had the courage to come to his defense, to be like, now time out. Wait a minute. This is public comment. I read the story. It's not what is so disturbing to me about this isn't like I heard or this was, a rumor or something posted on Facebook the way some people try to do it. No, this is the Providence Journal story was entirely sourced, um, and then he's he's got it right with him as he's quoting it and citing it, and that gets him thrown out. I mean, folks, do you see what's happening right now? We need more people involved in the process. I'll tell you exactly what we need, and not everyone's going to get it. We need less people. We need people watching less Newsmax and Fox and all there are people that all they do is pay attention to the Hunter Biden stuff, but you don't understand the stuff that's going on in your own backyard. Wherever you live, you could watch the Hunter Biden stuff all day long. You're not going to have any impact on it. But we need people that would be in office that would say, "No, hold on a minute. No, let him finish. I disagree," and at least try to make the argument. Just as an example, the fact that right now we are stuck with Governor McKee and Matos, and the Republicans at that Rhode Island State House did nothing to try to change the voting laws. I don't even understand what the media is focusing on right now. The media is focusing on some homeless people who have been trespassing are being told you can no longer trespass. And Channel 10 runs a story that they're being evicted from their encampment. I don't know what to tell you. You're not supposed to be there in the first place, right? If you sneak into Fenway Park and you're watching the game, and then the usher comes along, can I see your ticket? There shouldn't be a news story that you're being evicted from the park after you got to sit there for the first 2 innings. The story should be you shouldn't have been there in the first place. Period. End of story. They don't say, all right, we'll wait to the bottom of the inning. If there used to be stowaways on ships. And then what are they going to do? Throw them overboard? Like, it's so backwards. And Channel 10, they're evicted. No, stop using the word evicting. Evicting are for tenants. They're not tenants. They're trespassers. They're told one moment, for some reason, someone allowed them to be there. Mainly Mayor Elorza. The new mayor's like, listen, you're not staying there. This is insanity. You don't belong there. You have no rightful purpose to be there. It's like the people that were upset in Woonsocket. The guy that was, wanted they set up tents. Wrong. You're trespassing. That guy died on a park bench and no one did anything. They weren't supposed to be there in the first place. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, and it's brought to you by J. Perry Paving. Now listen to me. High quality, fair pricing, exceptional service, 20 years experience, specialized commercial paving, residential paving, seal coating. J. Perry Paving, free estimate, any project. Call them 401-732-1730. 401-732-1730, letter J, J. Perry Paving. Free estimate, any project. And remember, if you're a veteran, no one is better for veterans than J. Perry Paving. Call them. They have a special package discount rate for veterans. So maybe it's your mom or dad, or maybe it's a son or daughter, aunt, uncle, grandmother, grandfather. Whether it's a brand new paving project or just a cracked driveway. J. Perry Paving, licensed and insured, contracted company. 401-732-1730. You can see them on Facebook. I share their work a lot. Serving Rhode Island and southeastern Mass. 401-732-1730 for J. Perry Paving. Well, folks, good afternoon. At 12:59, you're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380, 99.9 FM. Now, I will be doing Facebook Live later. Our legal segment with attorney Tim Dodd, the latest on the Tupac investigation, Tupac Shakur. Also, the whole situation with Lieutenant Governor Matos and the latest on the Trump investigation. It's all next hour, radio only, AM 1380, 99.9 FM. You can listen online at the website, depetro.com. We're going to break for the 1 o'clock news. We have another full hour to go. I will be doing Facebook Live later. Right now, though, let's get the latest in headlines, the 1 o'clock news, but stay tuned. The Power Hour's next. You'll hear attorney Tim Dodd right here next on the John DePetro Show.